Hello everyone, welcome to Don't Listen Racing. I'm Alex, and today we are going over direct drive wheelbases and their helpfulness on Forza Motorsport, and I'd say it's fairly important. Fine-tuning things as we speak. But I'm going to go through and show you my settings that I run on Forza Motorsport and explain why they're relevant to me and why they are good for direct drive wheelbases. So, transition over. Alright, so first things first, you want your full range of steering, and you don't want any dead zones as long as you have your pedals set up correctly. That shouldn't even matter regardless of the title. Alright, so into the juicy stuff. So 10 vibration, I have that down low because that just creates noise in the wheel that distracts from the driving. So I have that down all the way to 10, and you don't really know, so I don't really notice it, and so there's no clipping. And then force feedback is at 100 so that it doesn't clip the motor. The force feedback doesn't clip, and you don't want to touch that like at all. Just default is 100, leave that be. And self-steering alignment, I have that at 105. I'm not sure totally what that does, but well, actually I do know what that does. So the self-steering alignment is basically it says what it's supposed to do on the screen, but that's not actually what it's really there for. So the self-steering alignment and the mechanical trail and the pre-pneumatic trail are all in the self-steering alignment, revolve around the self-steering alignment. Depending on the settings here, it affects the settings here. So I have mine at 100, which is the default. Then I have pneumatic trail set to 20, and then that self-steering alignment is at 105, so that I'm getting the feeling that I want through the steering wheel. Because these two are just to affect the well, they say what they do, but the self-steering alignment is just where it all comes together so that it doesn't completely overwhelm the base that you're using or steering wheel. But before we continue, if you're using a Logitech uh, or a Thrustmaster wheel, this probably won't feel very good, because I've ran these settings on my direct drive wheelbases for a while, and they work pretty well, but I'm not too confident that they will work for you on any other wheel. So I have road feel turned down from 100, which is the default, down to 45, and that seems to work pretty well for me, because if you have it too high, then your wheel's just jostling around as you race, which isn't really realistic. Well, I'm sure it's not realistic, but you should be moving, not the steering wheel, if you know what I mean. Definitely, at least in the slower cars. If this is tuned up too high and you're in like something like a Honda Civic, then you're gonna be going all over the place with this. So you want that down. If you're running a direct drive wheelbase, you want that down at 45. Then load sensitivity, This is actually probably the best place to have the load sensitivity, because it just feels drastically different from having it all the way up on a direct drive steering wheel. And then these last few, so these two you want at 15, and so wheel damping scale and center array steering scale. You want the wheel damping at 15 and 20, and the center spring scale at 20. Just because the wheel will center on its own, and the damping, you want as little as damping as possible, because you can, one, if you're using a direct drive steering wheel, you can adjust that yourself, and it's pre from your steering wheel. Dynamic damper behavior. Um, it's pretty much self-explanatory, so I have that at 75, and then your and then these last two is steering sensitivity and steering linearity. You want linearity at 50 because that's where real cars are. The more you turn the steering wheel, it'll be 1-to-1 in the game. And then you want steering sensitivity at 100 to get rid of the. So first off, that'll get rid of the understeer. It'll just be better, just better, million better times better. And yeah, just I'll sit here for a minute, let you guys take a screenshot or something, and we'll call it quits. If you liked the video, subscribe and hit the bell icon for more, and I'll see you next time.